Hi guys, it's only me and so forth. Let me just point this camera more towards me. There you go, guys. We're all doing well and all of that and everything else. I'm just going to be showing you some pictures here and all of that. So just bear with me and let's get going, shall we? Let's show you the first one, shall we? It's going to be videos and pictures, by the way. So that's the first one, if you guys can see it in a minute and all of that. But let me go to the other one. There you go. Because on the floor, I don't know if you can see or anything like that. I mean, but on the floor in there, let me just see if I can get an arrow or something. There you go. Let's get like image. Have we got an arrow or something that we can use so I can point to arrow? I just saw an arrow glow thing. There you go. There you go. So, right. And just to let you guys know, I was actually in this place, right? So, around here, these little dots here are actually ants. So, if you watch these here and here, this is supposed to be a mental health place, guys. You know what I mean? I went in there and I knew I wasn't crazy enough, but the doctor goes, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with you. And I just went, yeah, no shit. But at least now I don't have to second guess myself a little bit. Well, cause I was knowing, but when you hear people saying all the time, you know, you're this, that, and so forth, a little doubt will always creep in. So, but to actually hear somebody going, no, you've never been crazy and stuff like that, and I was like, I bloody knew it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so let's keep this rolling. So, let's do this. Hit that. Sometimes computers may make you think you're going crazy sometimes with a lot of bullshit. Anyway, let's continue now. Let's do this. See, look at that, guys. Oops, sorry. I looked at that. So look at all that. And the thing is, as well, while I was there, it wasn't just on the floor. They were on the table. There was like flies going on the food. There was a lot of stuff going there. And despite we had like the CQC out there and so forth, this is one of the hallways in there. And just on this, not this one. That's another person from Wales. Was in this one here, but next one down, I was in number 11, and across from there, guys, in here would be room 15. But in room 15 is where you could charge your phones and stuff like that and so forth and everything. So, yep. So that is. I was staying for the last 40 odd days, guys. Just to give you guys a heads up. All because the United Kingdom, the establishment, didn't like my views. That basically, my views are on the levels of, guys, wait for it. This is how bad my views were. British people should have the right to have their own homes, be fed. You know what I mean, have their own food, clothing, all this stuff, and so forth, at fair prices. And also, I mean, I won't be surprised. You know, our Brits will move to other countries that we are bombing. You know what I mean? Basically. There you guys. I mean, that is the where we would go and relax and stuff like that. But the stuff, but in the background, guys, where there's like chairs, those are gone now because in the garden, you're supposed, and one of the other member staff agrees with me. You know what I mean, so if this place does not need to be closed down, it just needs to be run better. You know what I mean, that's what I'm showing us. It just needs to be managed better because there's a lot of good people working there, but it's not being run properly. It's not being run efficiently, and the hygiene levels is what you call it. There are a few staff there that wants it run better on a more efficient level and all of that. But the higher ups, the way higher ups and so forth, yeah, it's never going to be that. So the patients in it are suffering, basically. The OTs are brilliant. The psychologist people in there are brilliant, but the hygiene levels are kind of lacking. And all they need to do is be a bit more professional, and this place would be an absolute brilliant place. I gotta say that. But one of the people, Martine, you know what I mean, what I brought forward, she agreed, because there is supposed to be somebody in the guard at all times. Even the patients say that. Think about it. The patients want somebody in the guard at all times. You know what I mean? And there is somebody now in the garden now at all times, but at a cost. Right? I tell you what the cost was, right? Somebody, the chairs got removed. You know, instead of these colourful ones, these heavy ones with sanded, there is now a wooden bench and all of that in there, right? In place. But in the corner, right? Sort of like, let me do this. Let's do this. So, come on. So right that you follow this down, you come down, you get to like a door down by here, sort of thing. But in the corner, then right behind, not this door, but you keep going, and there'll be a door there, and you keep going. There'll be like chairs and tables to, as you're walking down to the left. Somebody tried to stack other chairs and that and so forth, and then try to get up on the roof, and then gone. And Martine agrees with me. If there was somebody in the garden at the time, then there would not be that opportunity there. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, and because that's all the people want there, the patients and the staff, is a safe environment. If you've got this craziness going on, people like escaping or staff, one or two staff being idiots as well. There was like one or two, obnoxious staff there as well. But not all. And I had one staff member saying, I'm only here for the money, so therefore a lack of care towards the patients. No, it's. But anyway, so there's a lot of things going on. There's also a thing up on my. Let me just go and get it. Let me just do this. Where is it? Let me go to my fish. And then oh yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this across tonight, and then I'm gonna close that down. Right. Let me show you this, guys. Let me show you this. Reject all. Thank you. Close. Thank you. And now, ASC. It's not this one. This is still View, guys, down in Essex. Yep, that is where they cook the food and all of that. Don't get me wrong, the staff are lovely and so forth, but they feel unappreciated, and the environment could be better for all. You know what I mean? They're not given ant powder to put down. They're not given fly spray, nothing to deal with it. That's all you got to give them is ant powder and fly spray and all that, and they'll happily go and do it. They'll sort the problem out like that. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's the higher ups. You know what I mean? It's at the front line. These are frontliners. They get in the stick and so forth, right? But if they got the ant powder, if they got the fly spray and all that, and I think the reason why they're feeling down because we the patients say, hey, this needs to be sorted and so forth, and the staff I know, but you can see it's getting them that we keep bringing all these different problems to them. It's affecting them now. You know what I mean? It's affecting the staff. You know what I mean? So the higher ups have got to send stuff down to the lower end to for stuff to be done. You know what I mean? That's Joyce, one of the people, and so forth. And I mean, she Yeah, I mean, basically, that is a place where you go, and you're supposed to have a doctor there. And if you're going back to a place that is dangerous, they just send you back. You know, what I mean, it doesn't matter if your life's going to be fucked over; they just send you back. There's that thing as well. There you go. This is the button you got there as well. To use in your room. That is standard stuff, though, guys. But this, I know, it's a lot of the food was processed food, which isn't good for your mental health, isn't good for a thing, and sugary stuff and all that. Yeah, I mean, the health side is, I mean, you know, like me and another guy, I mean, who's living here, and me and him were saying, I mean, we need fresh veg, we need this, that, and so forth, and all of that, and when there was like fresh, I mean, like fresh veg for like coleslaw, very minimal. It was very minimal. It wasn't anything that could get you, I mean, nutrients. I mean, on a high level sort of thing. It was most of the time you were eating, well, crap, to be honest. Um, this machine here, guys. I mean, despite you've got yourself a water thing there, and me, the patient and staff work together to get the tray cleaned. We work together to make sure it's coffee that inside the hot chocolate. Despite sometimes the staff would take ages, sometimes like 48 hours to fill it back up for for the patients to use and so forth. But there's been like 7,000 cycles, over 7,000 cycles. The pipes need to be cleaned, which are not cleaned, so there's bacteria in there. Plus, when you pull this out as well at the bottom, you can see there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, one member staff did try and so forth, but like I said, they haven't got the proper equipment to do it and so forth. So yeah, it's like I said, the higher ups again have got to basically give the staff proper equipment. There you go, guys. That's room 15 I was telling you about, and this is my room here, number 11, where I was staying. And again, chemtrails. This is the TV that you got and so forth. But despite you guys, you think, oh, you guys get to watch TV and that. No, most of the time the staff was hogging the TV. There you go, guys. These ain't patients. These are staff members with popcorn and coffees and stuff like that, watching films and stuff like that. Yeah, this is the staff sitting back watching movies. Like it says there, guys. I took this photo. This is me sitting on the table, guys. Don't forget, guys, I'm just on my phone writing music. I'm writing songs and stuff like that, right? And this is at night. So this is like most of the patients to all patients except me, right? Actually in bed, right? They actually in their rooms right now, except for me, right? So I'm sitting there, so forth. And one of them did turn around to me and ask me, what movie do you want? I said, I don't really watch TV. They're like, oh. I mean, but that was after 3 movies. They watched three movies first, and they forgot that I was sitting there. And then all of a sudden they turned around and went, oh, hi, Paul. Would you like to watch anything? By then, already taken a photo. And sent it up onto the Flickr. And yep, there's the camera there, guys, which is standard and so forth. But the patients do have to take photos themselves and videos. They should. I mean, because I mean they should. They've got mobile phones and stuff like that, but they're told, oh, you can't film and all that. You can't put it in the hospital and so forth. You can't film until a point, because if everything's fine and dandy, yeah, I mean, do not go around filming and so forth and all that. But like I saw, it wasn't. There's a lot of things wrong, and so I went around filming. I went around checking things out. So The next thing, guys. Let me just put up the next thing, and we'll go further. Oh yeah, guys, it gets a lot more. Is it on this one? No, it's on. It's on down here then. Let me just do this. Let me just take off the OC for a minute. But yeah, it's because the establishment thought, I mean, the only reason why I got thrown in there because, for one, they didn't like my views. Two, they were trying to push me to suicide, and that wasn't working because they wanted me to shut up, exposing the criminal nature of the establishment and with a lot of other things going on. And unfortunately, I can't talk about the what's happened in the last 5 years with that big, huge scenario across the world we've had recently because of YouTube and the censorship and the strikes that you get. So, what we will do is, we'll do this instead. We'll keep talking about the mental health lot instead, because what they try and do, if you're speaking out against the globalists or whatever and so forth, they'll try and throw you straight into a mental health hospital to try and shut you up and make you look crazy. But unfortunately, it backfired because I went around filming to show how corrupt things are behind the scenes. So we'll go into here. Yet again, guys, what you're going to see again. There you go. If I do this, like that. As you can see, that was on the table. You saw some on the floor. You saw some going up the chair leg. That was on the table. Think of you got that for like 40 odd days. Well, for me, it was 44 days. There's people being there over 90 days and longer. And I mean, and and that place is supposed to hold you there for a little while before you go off to a proper mental health place. But or they deem you sane and send you back home. But I was there for 44 days only because there were certain things going on back here, back home in Wales that they needed to sort out. Otherwise, I would have been home, under 30 days easy, under 20 days easy. You know what I mean? But to be honest, I didn't want to come back to Wales. You know what I mean? To be honest. There's that, guys. Let me just do a bit more. Let me just do a bit more. All right. Uh, but there, guys. Let me just mute that. Yeah. Um, that came about, right, because of tensions that were allowed to build between the patients and stuff like that, instead of just dealing with it and so forth. And and then in the end, the corporation had damage done to one of their tables. You know what I mean? Because they weren't really helping the patients, not really. I mean, they weren't like saying, "Hey, come to one side," and then it was just like sorting you out, so forth, assess you, see, until they send you elsewhere. That was it. It wasn't like trying to get you sorted and all that. And what I noticed, like, what I noticed more than anything, they, what I noticed is the chemicals off the tablets are actually making some people worse. You know what I mean? So, and if you haven't read the book Confessions of an RX Drug Pusher, yeah, go and read it. It's a and also there's a few other things to check out as well out there. But I'll do another video on that. Look at that, guys. So yeah, so we didn't have a table tennis thing, so that means we had one less activity, so tensions went a bit higher. I mean, so but yeah, so that's another thing there. As you can see here, more another day, more ant videos. As you can see here, I mean, so this bit here, guys. Well, the patient wasn't acting up. By the way, the patient wasn't acting up, but that is where if you play up, you get sent to this area where there's 2 holding cells and also a de-escalation cell, a de-escalation part as well in that one block. And right next to those, on the other side, is the meeting room as well, where you go for your ward round and stuff like that, which was much help as a far in a hurricane. But anyway, so the person, I mean, was, I mean, fair play I mean, to this guy, because I've got his email and I'm going to be contacting him later and all of that to see when he's out, because he's offered me a job as well. But so basically, and the guy was just talking about the things, I mean, that I'm into as well and so forth. They would, I mean, and plus a few other things, and they would like tell him to be quiet. He said, "No, it's freedom of speech," and I mean, and a few other things. And then they had a go at the patient. They escalated it to the point where they ended up sedating him and putting him in there. So really, the staff escalated the whole thing. I mean, and in the end, I mean, the patient had to say things, hoping for them to back off, like, "Hey, I'll eat your heart if I don't have protein," and all that. And so I was laughing, and the staff just looked at me like, "Why are you laughing?" I, me, my dark sense of humor, I was like pissing myself laughing. I said, "Guys, I got a dark sense of humor. He's right. If you don't feed us properly, I'll probably turn cannibal," I said. But anyway, so they threw me in there and so forth, and they cleaned the doors up because that was covered in writing and so forth. The glass, you can see that there's like a V and so forth, so there was writing on that and so forth. And what the guy did as well, what the patient that they threw in there did, because tensions were getting high and higher and higher, and the staff weren't doing anything, he turned around to all the patients. I mean, and he said, "Right, if you all got a problem with each other, you got to go through me." And I was like, "Cool." You know what I mean? Sees me doing it, and you know what I mean? So he goes, "I'm big brother, and and you've got to go through me if you have a problem." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm able to chill out here then. Brilliant." And I gotta be honest, guys. I went through mochachinos like there was no tomorrow, guys. I must have gone for like 50 mochachinos a day. I mean, I don't, and I'm not exaggerating, guys. You know what I mean? The staff and the patients would tell you I drunk until I couldn't drink no more throughout the day because there wasn't anything else to do apart from drinking the hot chocolate out the machines, the coffees, and all of that. I mean, and then again, you could play like a Jenga or a bit of this or a bit of that until somebody, screwed that up. I had to give a chess in there until somebody took the chessboard away from the ward and then brought another one, a week later. But that was like a week of chess, something that we all could have done. That wasn't there for a week. So the staff most of the time was watching football and all. They hogged the TV with football in the day. They were hogging things with other films at night, like gangster films and hangings and all that so forth, right? And then when I went to put on a video with just like information, nothing about anything deep and dark that I normally research, just like simple things like the economic system and all that. They're like, "No, can't watch that." Like, hold on a minute. If you're gonna put hangings on and bloodshed in front of me, you can shut the hell up. I went, "This is just words and what you would find in the news normally. So they went, oh, okay, because I mean, sometimes I would defend the staff, sometimes I would defend the patients, sometimes I would, they saw me as a peacemaker in there. So when I went, I mean, on the final week, I went, I've watched hangings, I've watched bloodshed, I've watched you stuff, videos talk about money and hoes and this, that, and so forth. So you can allow me this one flipping video or something. But yeah, I'm check this though. I'm check this. As you can see there, more clear, guys. I mean, around here, the right in, there was a bit of a crack there, and so yeah. There you go. And somebody else I know tried to get a thing, but he got like a better picture than I've got. So yeah, so yeah, guys, that's where the escalation thing would be. And what's this? Oh yeah, this video was me trying. Right, let's go past. Let's go past. Let me go past. Let's go past. That was the day, right, where the staff totally pissed off one of the patients. I mean, absolutely got under the skin of one of the patients, because because I don't think it was but the phone this time, because he went to the phone his lady and so forth. I mean, which they should allow him to do, because because you can phone people at any time. You know what I mean? But they wouldn't allow it, so they escalated the whole thing. But it backfired. And I mean, it backfired hugely, right? It backfired hugely. Because he ended up breaking open the door, because the door, I mean, it has like a seal thing, but he worked out to do it. And then he got into the area, smashed the computers up. Then there was like a fire going on inside there and so forth, right? And where was I? I was in bed sleeping. The alarms are going off, all this and so forth, right? My door is open, wide open. You know what I mean? As in an earlier picture, you guys might have saw the door was open. I got like a trousers up, holding the door open. I'm sleeping naked. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And the blanket isn't that very big anyway. I'm just there, just relaxing, chilling. You know what I mean? As I woke up, you know what I mean, I was like, wait a minute, why is the corridors black? Oh, so I put on some clothing and stuff like that. I'm walking on my walking stick, going down the street. The first two people I see is two police officers. I'm like, oh, hello. They're like, hello. I'm like, oh, what's going on then? Instant. Yeah, it seems like, with black corridors and stuff like that, and with the lights off and all that. Okay, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. So I'm off now getting a cup of coffee, right? And then one of the guys who's now left before me, you know what I mean? But he saw the whole thing and he told me what happened and all that, and I went, oh, okay. And so, and this guy is Indian. I'm not going to say his name, but he sort of like no, it's not much phases me. You know what I mean? And he goes to me, didn't the alarms wake you? No. And then other people then were saying, oh, the noise, the alarms, and stuff like that. And here's me, sound asleep. Totally naked and stuff like that. Just like, I'm away from trouble. And I wake up like, oh, there's been trouble. So yeah, so if I carry it on, as you can see, they try to sort things out. Look at that. Yeah, I tried my best, but I had to be careful at the same time as well. Because despite I never signed a contract to not record and everything else, but they will always try to take your phone from you if you recorded and stuff like that. But I sneaked and recorded and took photos and stuff like that. When incidents arose and stuff like that, the best I could. You know what I mean? But yeah. when people, say to me that I should, you're not a journalist or anything. Nobody else, at first was go around getting things. You know what I mean? I went round, started thing, and then somebody else came to me and said, "Oh, I've been to the where the de-escalation room is. I've taken pictures." I went, "Funny, she's been saying I've been doing that for about a week, going round." She was like, "Oh, you do it too?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah, guys. So there you go, guys. That is my time in a mental health hospital, where the words of Tiainen and police are saying you're going to be safe there, and the place almost burnt down. You know what I mean? Because one of the parts with like electrical fire, and the place could have easily gone up and so forth and everything. So yeah, despite with these sprinkler systems and all of that, you know what I mean? Because yeah, it wasn't really that properly managed. And also, guys, you get to make necklaces like this there with the words anti-jihadi. Yeah, anti-jihadi, not jihadi, Jew, Jew. So yeah, so that's fun, and so much of being sent to a place for my safety. I would have been safer in a fucking war zone on some level. And even the staff noticed sometimes when stuff was kicking off there and so forth. I just fell asleep. You know what I mean? But yeah. There was some good times there as well. Like, they did take some of the patients out to go bowling and so forth. I tagged along as well. And, you know, first time bowling as a growing up, you know what I mean? And even as a child, I only bowled once. You know what I mean? And it was only like one shot down the lane. So like first round, done, that was dusted, and I never bowled again. Because my family was scared in case I broke the lane. Now I'm older, I went bowling, and I managed to get my first strike. You know what I mean? So what was that, about 28 years later, to 28 to 30 odd years later, gone bowling again, I managed to get my first strike as well. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I might keep it up, guys, because the score wasn't, it was okay for a beginner, you know what I mean? So I thought, yeah, I might take this up now. I might start going bowling and stuff like that. So, and we had a laugh, you know what I mean? Three of us patients and three of us staff that went, you know what I mean? And we just had a blast, you know what I mean? And one staff member almost did break the lane, but the way, you know, I mean, I don't think he'd ever played bowling before, but he threw it and the ball was going up. And the thing is, we didn't tell him off. We were laughing. And I think he knew you're not supposed to do it, but because we were laughing, I think he kept it going because we were just pissing ourselves laughing, and we just had a good time. And then me, I mean, worried that I wouldn't be able to bowl the ball down properly. Member staff goes, "Look at him, but the force he's putting me on that, he's launched them down the thing." So instead of going up, I was like, launch them down. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But anyway, guys, you guys take care and all that. And that's my time, like I said, in a mental health place. Take care and make sure you got plenty of food, water, and all that, and stay positive, guys, no matter what.